Shalom to all my brothers and sisters. This video, very briefly, I'm going to go through the dietary laws according to Karaite Judaism. And this is for those beginners who are wanting to learn how to keep the diet of the Torah based on Karaite observance. We're going to go to Leviticus, and please, if you get a chance, pause the video, grab your Tanakh, open up to Leviticus chapter 11. That's where the dietary laws are. Leviticus chapter 11, the whole chapter. Okay? So we're going to begin with verse 1. And Yehovah spoke unto Moshe and Aaron, and said to them, Speak to the Israelites, saying, These are the creatures that you may eat from among all the land animals. Now these are the land animals, okay? It says, Any animal that has true hooves with clefts through the hooves. Now let me tell you what that is. If you ever see a cow, it's got a hoof, and it has the cleft, the triangular sign. As a cleft. It's like a cut inside of the hoof. That's what that is. A cleft through the hooves. And that chews the cud. Now, if you ever see a cow, it's chewing constantly. And always chewing. And what it means by chew the cud is that it chews and chews and chews. It swallows its food, and then, I know it sounds a little gross, but it kind of regurgitates back its vegetation and then continues to chew it over and over, almost like never-ending gum, except they swallow it, bring it back up. So both things, it must have the cleft in the hooves and chew the cud, which would be the cow. That's a great example. The cow, a buffalo as well, chews the cud and also has a cleft in its hoof. So cow, buffalo, it's okay. Okay? So remember, it must have both for a land animal. The cleft in the hoof and chews the cud, where it keeps chewing and chewing, swallows, brings it back up, keeps chewing. Cow. Very simple. Okay? Now we got to pay very close attention. Both. The following, however, of those that either chew the cud or have true clefts in their hooves, you shall not eat. Now what it's saying is, if it has one or the other, so say it just has the cleft in the hoof, but doesn't chew the cud, or chews the cud and doesn't have the cleft in its hoof, these are the animals you must not eat, okay? One is the camel. Yes, even today there are some that eat camel, but back in the ancient world, this was very popular. Eating a camel. Although it chews the cud like the cow, it has no true hooves. This is true. It does not have the cleft in the hoof. So it chews the cud. You might get fooled by it, but the cleft in the hoof is not there. Therefore, that's the marking that shows you that this is unclean. It's not clean for you. The daman. This is an animal that's very rare here, but also it's the same issue. Although it chews the cud, it has no true hooves. It is unclean for you. The hare, although it chews the cud. Now this is like in the rabbit family. Really all rabbits, all hares. It chews the cud, just like the cows. But again, we know what rabbits and hares' feet look like. They're like little paws. So this is a sign that this is unclean. Because again, it has to have both for land animals. Okay? It has no true hooves. It is unclean for you. Now here we go with the most popular, and I'm sure you'll know right away. The swine, the pig. Although it has true hooves, the cleft in the hoof, yes, pigs have the cleft in the hoof, with the hooves cleft through it, it does not chew its cud. It does not chew like the cow. It is unclean for you. It's filthy for you. Now, I have to bring up more about the swine, the pig, because there's so much details, because pig is the most popular of all the meats among the Gentiles, here, especially in the United States. Now, there's much to pig that a lot of us don't even know. Pig is, without a doubt, the dirtiest, I don't care if it's farm-raised or not, when in the wild, this is a scavenger. It will even eat, God forbid, I don't want to gross you out, but they will even eat their babies when they die. They will eat each other. They're scavengers. They don't care what they eat. They're just just disgusting. And if you ever can stomach, you really want to know one proof of why the pig is so disgusting and see that God is not just making up rules. If you ever get raw pork meat, which I don't suggest, have someone else do it for you, or look online. Open raw pork, watch them open the raw pork. They'll pour Coca-Cola or Pepsi or any kind of acidic drink. They will pour it on the raw meat, and almost immediately maggots will appear all over the pork. It is unclean. It is filthy for you. Stay away from it. Pepperoni, sausages, all kinds of meats. You have to be very careful. There's a lot of pork in a lot of things. Be very, very careful. You must research this stuff. Okay, don't be careless about this. So stay away from it. It has the hooves with the cleft, but it does not chew its cud. It's a scavenger. It's a filthy, filthy animal. You shall not eat of its flesh. This is the pig again. Not eat of its flesh, nor touch it. You're not even to touch the pig. It is that disgusting and filthy. Don't even touch the raw meat. Don't handle it. Don't peel off a pepperoni and think it's okay to touch that pizza. You just defiled yourself by touching the pork product. Or even touch their carcasses. Even a dead pig. Don't touch it. Whether in a supermarket or dead on the road or dead in your farm. Stay away from it. They are unclean for you, it says. Of these you may eat of all that live in the water. Now we're speaking about the animals that live in the water, sea creatures. Okay? Whether in the seas or in the streams, rivers. Now here's how you know what you can eat from the rivers and streams, okay? Listen carefully. It must have both of these markings, okay? Fins, where they swim, fins and scales. Both. Fins and scales. This would be salmon, is a great example. You look for the markings, fins and scales, both. Now this means you cannot eat shellfish, crab, lobster, shrimp, anything that does not have these two markings, fins and scales, you must not eat. I'm sorry. Fins